mbokk yi ñu ngi leen a nuyu seen tur ak seen sant di leen dalal si seen beneen Good Morning Africa show man la seen xarit Fatoumatta Jajo ak sama càmmiñ bi di Alhassan Alhassan xam naa gars yi namoon nañ la torop ma bàyyi la nga nuyuwante gars yi.
waaw bilaay waaw jërëjëf good morning viewers I am Alhassan Cissé and you're watching the Good Morning Africa show comme ni ko Fatoumatta waxee rek fan yi nag maa ngi xaloon am yenn jafe-jafe rek moo tax dina ko moon di ñëw waaye comme ni leen ko dee defalee rek dañoo dem ak suñu studio story si suñu jógee si loolu xool yeneen media outlets yi ba léegi rek tey dinañ fi amal ay gan comme ni ñu leen ko dee defalee rek.
man moom koor gi fu mu ne nii dama bëgg a caalit man maa laajte dee ma ñu ne ma ne 15 days a des.
waaw non affaire bi sori na léegi nag.
ma ne ko nee naa yow bëgguloo sa bopp 15 days yi kon 14 days moo ñëw des soobee yàlla 29 rek la noo. incha
allah because fu mu ne nii ñu ngi si tib bi léegi ñu ngi wàcca dañ daan egg waaye léegi ñu ngi si wàcca bi waaye lu ñoo def rek dañoo dem ak suñ first story bi si suñ studio story si. The commercial van driver who was shot by the military at the Kanilai checkpoint is positively recovering and responding to treatment, Gambia Armed Forces confirmed. The victim, Ismail Atamba, a former member of the Armed Forces, was rushed to the Biam General Hospital, later to Edward Francis Teaching Hospital in Banjul yesterday, where he undergone successful operation and the bullet was removed from his body. Circumstance surrounding the shooting is not clear, but sources say the incident occurred following a brief argument he had with the soldier on duty. Kanilai is a home of the former president Yahya Jammeh, who ruled Gambia with iron fist for 22 years. The Army Public Relations Officer Major Lamin K. Sanyang said investigations are underway and all soldiers on duty on the scene of the incident are helping the military police in their investigations. Waaw Fatoumatta bi itam nekk na xibaar boo xam ne fan yëpp daal mu ngi nekk loo xam ne daal raise na eyebrows anyway.
waaw nekk na loo xam ne fu mu ne nii tiital na let's say Gambians yu bëri because soo seetloo ak kii di victim bi fana ak lu mu munti def because according to reports in jot he was trying to make a curve there at the checkpoint roundabout then si la jota am push and pull with the military there ba bam si jota am ñu bañ ko si jota am di naka shot but then ñu bëri believe ne that should have been the last option the army should have took ba tax na ñëpp xam ne it is no news ne fu mu ne nii waa Kanilai ak lii di Gambia military bi foofu noonu seen diggante amoon na ay ñagas-ñagas waaye demoon nañ sax ba war a taxaw loolu noonu waaye tey jii su demee ba lii war a xappunaat dina nekk xam nga lu dina nekk a threat to the ongoing peace ba pare xëy na mun naa indiwaat ñagas-ñagas yooyu la amoon.
Exactly comme fi nga la wax rek ñu bëri seen question mooy lan la waral a shot boo xam ne is directed to the body of the driver himself because information yoo xam ne jot nañoo génn.
Alhassan ñu ngi am kii di honorable Amol Nyasi National Assembly member for Fonyi Kansala. Good morning, Mr. Nyasi. Good morning. Good morning, Honorable.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning.
Fine. It's a pleasure to have you once again. Can you enlighten us on the victim's current situation? Is he responding to treatment?
Yeah, Ismaila is actually responding to treatment because I left the hospital yesterday by 10:30 p.m. And the manner in which I met his condition actually very patient.
Okay.
Well, Honorable, we learned that the APRC leadership visited Kanilai yesterday. Can you tell us the purpose of that visit?
Yeah, actually, we went to Kanilai under the leadership of our current party leader, the Right Honorable Alhaji Fapakari Tombong Jasa, and a high power delegation from the National Executive, just to go and sympathize with the family and also try to obtain first-hand information as to what actually transpired until Ismaila was shot.
Okay, we also learned that the former president Yahya Jammeh called on the same issue. Can you enlighten us on the message he had for you?
Yeah, actually, President Jammeh called and he was trying to console his family members, the people of Kanilai, to tell them to be law-abiding and allow justice to take its course, and that nobody should take the law into your hands. And he also calls on the alkali and the elders to be constantly talking to the young ones, and that it's only Allah who knows why such is happening to his people. This is the second time since he left the source of the Gambia, But that whatever you see, once you are a true believer in Allah, you must accept and know that Allah is in control, and whatever Allah decides will surely happen. So let them refrain from any form of violence.
Yes, we also saw from Facebook that Yahya Jammeh said they should come. He's going to solve the matter, which is, which raised the eyebrows of many people. How do you think that is? How true is that?
Say that again.
How true is that?
Say that again.
We've seen on Facebook that Yahya Jammeh said you should come and he's going to solve the issue. How true is that information?
I think I have told you from what I have heard and from what I have interpreted from him. So I don't know the source of that information.
Oh well, on the side of the APRC party, and with regards to the issue that is the shooting at Kanilai, what is the position of the party precisely?
Well, our position as a party, as of now, we are sitting and watching how the state is going to go about it, and what all we know is the Alkali of Kanilai and some elders went to the commanding officer, Major Kovali. They had a meeting with him, and the way he received them and his reaction was definitely very welcoming, was very positive, and the police also mounted an investigation. So all we can do is for now is to stay back and watch how things are going to unfold.
Mr. Honorable Nyasi, can you enlighten us if there has been any development on the side of the military there in Kanilai as to what prompted for the soldier to shoot the victim?
Any development where?
On the side of the armed force, the military.
Well, no. Actually, as I'm speaking to you, I haven't got in contact with neither the PRO or the CO in Kanilai. All I know is all that I'm reporting is what transpired yesterday. But for today, I'm not privileged to get any information as to what I've been done so far.
Okay, we understand as well that the military chief there at Kanilai visited the people at the community there. What was the message?
The military did what?
The military chief there in Kanilai visited the community. What was the message?
Yeah, actually, the very day it happened, he went to the family. From there, he went to the Alcalo, trying to see what support will they need from his end. And definitely, he has been very cooperative, and he did apologize to the family and the community to let them understand that these are not his orders. He has never ever instructed any of them to open fire, because all he told them is there are a few checkpoints. If you stop a driver and he decides to stop, you can always call the next checkpoint, who would put up mechanisms to stop that driver. So he have definitely been very cooperative. He have been very supportive to both the family and the community, and he's actually, regretting what have actually transpired.
All right, thank you very much, Honorable Nyasi. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
waaw loolu tam nekkoon lu am solo gis nañ rek si statement bi mu ngi wane ne di commanda bi commanda Kanilai bi lu moo wax mooy checkpoint su amee some misunderstanding wala jafe-jafe rek li gën a uur mooy nga contact lii di subsequent.
xam naa ne daa war nañ see taxaw bu baax because fu mu ne nii you don't want many Gambians losing xam nga confidence in our justice system, because dañu wax ne naka changes boobu noonu part of the things yuñ gën a nekk di ñaxtu mooy human rights. So suñ demee ba lii war a am and then mu war a demee noonu dina nekk loo xam ne dina tax nit ñi lose confidence suñ justice system bi bu baax.
Obviously waaye du ñoo def rek dañoo dem ak suñ next story bi. Pa Modou Bojang, the chief executive officer of the Home Digital FM, has instituted a suit against the Gambia Police Force, Minister of Interior and Attorney General, claiming for $15 million as damage he incurred from the alleged police assault on him during the Faraba incident. Bojang is claiming for this sum as damages for assault, battery, physical injuries, mental trauma, unlawful detention, pain and suffering, and public humiliation allegedly inflicted on him by personnel of the Police Intervention Unit and the Brikama Police Station. The Faraba incident occurred sometime around mid-2018. When the case was called before Justice Aminata Saho Sise of the Banjul High Court, lawyer Lamin J. Dabo announced appearance for the claimant Pa Modu, while counsel ACC represented all the defendants. According to the statement of the claim, Bojang on the day of the incident went to Faraba Bantang amidst the land dispute between the community and the police. It is indicated in the claim that Bojang is a journalist. The claim adduced that he went to Faraba Bantang via his blue Ford Focus, and while the people of the community of Faraba Bantang were chasing the PIU personnel, the claimant was behind a mango tree. Bojang said one of the senior personnel of the police approached him demanding to know what he was doing. He added he told that senior officer that he was a journalist and his purpose of going to Faraba Bantang was to cover the incident for the purpose of public information and enlightenment about the events they were unfolding. He said after showing the PIU officers his press card, some other personnel came and ordered that he has to format his phone. Bojang said he told them that the phone has documents that he wouldn't want to lose, including his bank details. He said it was at this juncture that the PIU personnel started slapping him on his face and he fell on the ground. Despite being on the ground, Bojang said the beating that was meted on him increased as other PIU personnel joined in the assault on him as he was still on the ground feeling helpless and offering no resistance. He said he sustained injuries on his head, nose and mouth, gum, back, and as well received verbal assault. He indicated the claim that he temporarily lost consciousness from the intensity and impact of the beatings by the PIU personnel. He said his Samsung mobile phone, identity card, digital recorder were all seized at the scene. The matter will be coming on Monday, 17 June 2019 at 10 a.m. for hearing. Bi tam nekk beneen xibaar boo xam ne doy na waar trop ndax bii moom dañoo ne kii kay nekk na koo xam ne is within the same fraternity dem na pour cover lii di incident bu daan xew fii si Faraba, waaye mu ngi wane ne am na loo xam ne doxal nañ ko si kawam loo xam ne àndut ak yoon ba tax na suuna lii di Gambia Police Force ak lii di Attorney General comme pour ñu fay lii di 15 comme charge boo xam ne is about 15 million dollars mu nekk loo xam ne daal is the whole thing daal is not very healthy as far as the press freedom is concerned, because nit ñi tam they need to get the information, and fu mu xewee la journalist yi mun a dem gather the right information mun a koo jox nit ñi pour bañ a am lii di information boo xam ne daal is not correct.
Alhasan dama ne dafa serious trop comme ni nga ko waxee, waaye tamit mu am ñu bëri ñoo xam ne ñu ngi laajte lu tax kii mu war a xaar ba let's say almost a year muy war a file this lawsuit, but then I am not a law expert, but then based on the little experience I have, we've seen cases yoo xam ne people go for 5 years after which they begin filing. That is because we know that the type of judicial system we have in the Gambia. You need to put everything in place. You need to put in certain mechanisms, and then fund wise it's not really easy to secure a lawyer and then make the filings. It's very expensive, so sometimes that is the reason why it extends to a year. Yeah.
Waaw waaye xoolaat rek according to moom lim jéema ne comme loolu lañ ko def suñ ko xoolee nekk na loo xam ne daal it shouldn't have been things should have not been induced in him, because mu ngi explain ne moom si gannaaw mango la laax woon, because the tension at Faraba, because gis na yenn footages yoo xam ne they are not confirmed footages, waaye
mu ngi mel ne luñ fi doon wax sànq rek gis na we have a very big problem with regards to our security forces. I think the ongoing reform, I don't know whether it has started, but it has to be fast track, and then it has to be very how to say it na nekk lu quality daal bu mu nekk just brain pass through. Let them inculcate real knowledge in the security personnel, because we don't want this a replica of what happened in the past 22 years of Jammeh happening again. People voted for change, and the change is not only putting in one president after another, but then it has to be in our various institutions, most importantly security forces, because they are responsible for protecting Gambians. So if Gambians voted for change, it is important that they know the rights of the citizens and their duties as well.
Waaw comme fi nga wax rek waaye li ñoo def rek comme am nañ more stories si studio bi waaye story bi lii di Newru dot over dash blog dot com Newru moo nekk di outlet boo xam ne moo ñu si moom lañ jëlee di lii di information boobu noonu. President Donald Trump unveiled his broad proposal to overhaul the U.S. immigration program, which would, if enacted divergently, rather shift the system towards seeking skilled labor and potential job creators. The plan, which is unlikely to gain traction in a divided Congress, had long been in development within his administration, being spearheaded by the president's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, and Trump's far-right senior advisor, Stephen Miller, has helped lead the effort. Here is an insight. Let's take a look.
A topic of less discussion internationally. Functional legal. And promote equality and opportunity for all. Every year, we admit 1.1 million immigrants as permanent legal residents. These green card holders get lifetime authorization to live and work here and a 5-year path to American citizenship. This is the most prized citizenship anywhere in the world by far. Currently, 66% of legal immigrants come here on the basis of random chance. They're admitted solely because they have a relative in the United States, and it doesn't really matter who that relative is. Another 21% of immigrants are issued either by random lottery or because they're fortunate enough to be selected for humanitarian relief. Random selection is contrary to American values and blocks out many qualified potential immigrants from around the world who have much to contribute. While countless, and you wouldn't believe how many countries like Canada create a clear path for top talent, America does not. Under the senseless rules of the current system, we're not able to give preference to a doctor, a researcher, a student who graduated number one in his class from the finest colleges in the world. Anybody, we're not able to take care of it. We're not able to make those incredible breakthroughs. If somebody graduates top of their class from the best college, sorry, go back to your country. We want to keep them here. Companies are moving offices to other countries because our immigration rules prevent them from retaining highly skilled and even, if I might, totally brilliant people. We discriminate against genius. We discriminate against brilliance. We won't anymore once we get this passed, and we hope to get it passed as soon as possible.
itam nekk beneen affaire boo xam ne it's just interesting gis nañ lii di Donald Trump dafa mel ni mu ngi shift from the initial direction bu mu daan ñëwee in office li mu daan campagne because li xew mooy Donald Trump nekkoon na ko xam ne daf daan over discourage lii di immigration foofu si biir America waaye it's like there is some sort of I mean you know naka la koy comme shift in orientation because léegi moom dafa mel ni lii di seen immigration programme bi daf ko bëgg a overhaul bi léegi fu mu nekk nii mu ngi introduce loo xam ne comme dafa gën a focus on lii di acquire nit yoo xam ne dañu am skill labor bi ak ñoo xam ne daal professionally they I mean they are up there pour lii di développement America daal
Yeah, I would say that is Donald Trump being tricky. You know, mom, he's that tricky type. So, said law, this initiative, in a way, it will somehow discourage migration because every year you have governments from different countries sending their people to America to study. So, nangagas ne according to reports, so graduate, so neke part of the top 10 that graduated in America, you wouldn't come back home. They're going to maintain you there to use you in their various sectors. So the other international governments wouldn't want that. They also need those people to come and develop their countries. So if this law is passed, other governments too would avoid sending their citizens to America to study, unless if you have a choice as a citizen. You have a choice as a citizen not to work hard and not be part of the first 10. But who wants that? You study because you obviously want to be part of the most brilliant people that have actually graduated. But I guess if this thing is passed, as I said earlier, governments too will refrain from sending their people outside because they also need those talented people in their various countries. The reason they are sending them outside is for them to come back and serve their countries.
waaw kookoy Donald Trump xam nga moom daal jamono bi moom mooy loolu waaye dafa mel ni comme from that képp koo xam ne yow sa studies bi is mainly focused in other countries it will be very difficult pour ñu inject la lii di si biir United States waaye li ñoo def rek dañoo dem ak suñ last story bi on Studio Stories. Ending his trip to the Pacific, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres visited Vanuatu, where he praised the government's effort to combat climate change. In a statement, the UN chief said climate change is now an existential threat to the Pacific countries. He called on all decision makers around the world to show enlightened self-interest because it's not only the Pacific that is at stake, it is the whole planet. We have an insight on that. Let's take a look.
The Pacific is in the front line of the devastating impacts of climate change, but the Pacific has not contributed to climate change. On the contrary, even if the islands are so small that they would never have a meaningful impact, the truth is that we see a lot of investment in the Pacific in renewable energies and in other forms of mitigation that should be followed and copied by some of the most developed countries in the world. Vanuatu is a country that is extremely prone to natural disasters, volcanoes, to earthquakes, to the consequences of climate change. But Vanuatu has adopted a very effective policy on resilience and adaptation that I believe is also an example to be followed, and as an oceans policy that is absolutely exemplary.
Wow, lady, the quest for the combat on climate change, lady, the UN boss, kidi Antonio Guterres, mu ngi amoon too fële si Pacific region bi waaye dafa mel ni daal comme mu ngi jéem a wax ne lii di because mu ngi am visit country bu mu visit mooy Vanuatu it's just an island waaye country la boo xam ne comme is very vulnerable to these earthquakes ak these natural disasters yoo xam ne they are as a result of the climate change waaye mu ngi wax yu am solo ndax mu ngi wax ne lii is a global challenge comme adduna bi yëpp ñoo si war a boole seen loxo ñu mun a xeex lii di climate change gis nañ fu mu ne nii we've been seeing so many natural disasters yoo xam ne hardly pour ñu gis ko at si gannaaw.
It's a challenge, as you said, and it is everybody's concern. Climate change is becoming so worrying, and I think it's everybody's responsibility, no matter what kind of job you do, to make your own quota in trying to solve it. Because every year things, get worse. When it comes to the heat, every year we experience more heat. So every person in the world, no matter what you do, do something in your own way, to contribute towards solving the problem.
Wow, mu nekk loo xam ne am na solo trop ndax gis nañ even ñun Gambia fii sax there was a time when we can say ñun tam ñu ngi daan experience lu mel noonu because lii di Banjul gisoon nañ ndox bi mu daan encourage daanaka Bamel bi sax comme sooy dugga Banjul around that area yëpp mu nekkoon at a threat ba tax na amoon na project boo xam ne dañ ñu def some construction or some implementation yoo xam ne daal pour wàññi lii di ndox bi nu mu encouragé di jël laan bi mu nekk loo xam ne nag su dee fële sa fu mu munti jógee daal di effect goes all over the world mu am solo daal trop.
Hassan, Balanyo, go towards the next thing. Married comments in and am on Facebook page with regards to security reforms. Kiri coach Pasamba Jau Mune, the Barra government must prioritize what is important. Security reform is very much needed in this country, especially given that it was used as an instrument of tyranny. Kidi Conte Nige Mune, Barra's government is on the verge of failing. Sherif Jai Mune, let our African leaders do the right thing for their country, because we have so much in Africa that we will not need the West for everything. We are not many. Yeah.
Wow, mu nekk comment yu am solo bi moom Good Morning Africa moom we just give you the news review and then viewers itam ñuy def seen contribution di def seen comments comme nu ñoo wax rek yi pour gën a it's just to get on point ndax nu réew mi gën a mën a demee kanam Africa especially Africa at large mu am solo trop and ñu leen a comment ngeen a gën a dugal seen comments yi di def seen contribution as part of the show.
Hassan, it could be recalled that on the 10th of May, a number of people from a group called 3 Years Jotna were on the verge of protesting against President Barra's 5-year term, during which they were arrested by the police and taken to the Kairaba police station. Now, to have a broader view of the whole matter, we have Haji Suare in the studio, the 3 Years Jotna PRO, who will be talking to us more on the issue. Hello, Haji, how are you? Welcome. It's a pleasure to have you.
Fatu, thank you. Good morning to all of you, and good morning to the viewers around the world, and then I thank iAfrica TV for inviting me today to come and talk about issues surrounding Operation 3 Years Jotna.
I'm sure the whole world is awaiting right now. You know, we have so much viewers, especially right there at the diaspora, who always follow us, and I'm sure so many people are eager to know what is the motive behind the formation of the 3 Years Jotna.
Thank you, Fatu. I can see now Operation 3 Years Jotna, as you mentioned, the whole world is looking around us as what is the motive behind us. Our motive is, as we all know, this Barrow government is a transitional government, and then when they were coming in, they come in with agreement and promises. So these promises they include the 3 years agreement, which we stand firm on it, that the government or the coalition stakeholders must respect these 3 years. So, and then the other areas are the reforms they promise people that they will embark on. We are not seeing so much effective as far as those reforms are concerned. So this is why we want to stand on the 3 years, so that the government will respect it. Another one will continue on.
Are you an association or a movement?
No, we are just concerned citizens. We are concerned citizens.
You are just concerned citizens.
Yeah,
you are neither an association nor a movement.
No, we are not a movement. We are just concerned citizens who are concerned of their rights, and then the leaders, the promises they gave us. So they must stick to those promises. And
but don't you think if you formed yourself into an association, and a registered one for that matter, then your cause would have been more effective and efficient?
It could be in the future, but as at now, we all have the right to stand on things like this as a citizens. If you think that your leaders give you something that is not been delivered, so you have the right to stand on it, either a movement or an association.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes, we understand. I mean, recently you embarked on a protest, which we understood again. I mean, some, or if not all, were arrested. Can you just give us an overview of, I mean, the whole demonstration and how it all went about? I mean, up to the level of the detention.
Yeah, thank you. Our arrest, as you know, it is all about the 3 years agreement that the coalition stakeholders were about to amend to 5 years. So if you could recall, on Friday, the 10th of this month, that's May, we were there to protest against the amendment of the MOU, which is from 3 years to 5 years. So upon our way going to that protest center, we were arrested on the way along the Senegambia road by the police, TDA, then the tourist police who are at the Senegambia area there.
Okay, the TDA. Okay.
Yeah, the TDA. Yeah.
So when you were arrested, subsequently what occurred? Where were you taken?
Yeah, we were told that we should be in the station to discuss about our protests. So upon our arrival to the station, we discussed with the commissioner there, who told us to dispatch. So after that, advising us to dispatch, then we were on our way going. He called us again, telling us that he has a call from the top that we're supposed to be arrested. So this is how we were arrested, and we were subsequently taken to Kairaba police station, where I personally with 6 other men, we were just put under the sun there in a pickup truck, around 45 to 50 minutes, I think. We were waiting for them to decide where we should go. Then later, we were separated. I and the other 6 men, we are taken to Carnifing police station, where we were charged and been put in cells for almost, I think, 4 hours. From 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock.
So what was
before we go to the charges and the number of hours you spent at the cell, you mentioned in your statement that you were about to protest against the amendment of the coalition agreement from 3 years to 5 years. Now, whether this is amended or not, we do know, you and I know, that the Constitution allows the president to sit for a 5 years term. Now, wasn't your protest going to be, downgrading the Constitution, or aren't you people as concerned citizens, trying to belittle the Constitution in some way?
Thank you for that question. But if you can recall our minds to these people who formed this MOU, they know the Constitution better than I and you. So when they should have the idea to come into 3 years, when they know the Constitution is 5 years, don't you think that they were fooling citizens to gain that position? Because we know that the Constitution said 5 years, but the Constitution also doesn't make sure that say this, we cannot make elections before 5 years. It says elections shall be in 5 years, but does not that election cannot be between 5 years. It doesn't say that. So when they knew that the Constitution said 5 years, why are they bringing that 3 years? Was it by fooling citizens to gain the position, or was it by just giving us something that they know that they cannot work on?
Okay, please to send in your comments. Visit our Facebook page, also our YouTube channel. You can as well call on 395-21202 to contribute towards the show.
Yes, Mr. Haji, many allege that, the party, the movement, the 3 years Jotna movement is affiliated to a particular political party. Most will go, to the level of saying, it is affiliated to the UDP party. What do you have to react on that?
I think it's a very wrong opinion or view people are seeing this movement, because we as citizens, we have the right to associate with any other association or any other concern we have. We have the right to operate it without a party. And if you can have a positive thinking, we know that UDP is having an executive. So I don't think their executive activities, they will be giving it to particular people to go and run that, or any other GDC or APRC, so forth, so on. So they all have their executives. So if they want to run their things, I think their executives are relevant to those kind of activities rather than us. So this is free from any political party or political status. We don't have any political affiliation. Our political status are there, but as far as this movement is concerned, we are not affiliated to any party. If anybody should think about that one, maybe they want to make sure that they say something against the UDP so that they can tarnish their image, or the GDC so that they can tarnish their image to gain popularity. But this Operation 3 Days has nothing to do with any political party. As far as I'm concerned, we are there to make sure that pressurize the government to stick to their own promises. So that doesn't come from GDC or UDP or any other political party, as far as this movement is concerned.
Yes, but as you just mentioned, you have a set of different people from different, political parties coming together. But it doesn't necessarily mean that they've joined 3 years Jotna because they are from those parties. But then they also have their political status, as you said. But then the thing going about, which is which many people are howling about, is the fact that a majority of your members, or majority of you as concerned citizens of the Gambia, have at one point in time shown allegiance to the UDP, which is why your decisions might be, in a better position to be influenced by the UDP.
I think I told you already that I don't know whether being the majority of supporters or sympathizers of that movement, being majority of UDP or minority of them, I don't think it is necessary here. The only necessity I saw here, it is the concern they have. So they are not concerned by the UDP against in the 3 years or supporting the 5 years. What is their concern is the coalition government to stick their promise and agreement they give to citizens. So being the majority or minority here, I don't think anything can be, I can see it has a necessity in this issue.
Okay, so apart from the president stepping down after the 3 years, does your movement have any other concerns?
Yeah, we have concerns like the president stepping down after 3 years and then holding to his promise that also he was not going to be a contestant for the next 5 years, because those are the agreements that they said they agree upon. So he shouldn't be a contestant after his transitional period. He should go back to his business, as he clearly stated in his interviews. So he is not a politician, even though he's a politician. But the promise he gives to us is that he's not going to be a contestant in the next coming 5 elections in the Gambia.
Yeah, to draw a little back on the affiliation of the 3 years Jotna campaign, we've got reports that a man called Yankuba Dabo, who many says that have been or is behind the 3 years Jotna, and then many knows that he's affiliated with the United Democratic Party. They said, or many said, he gave $15,000 to the 3 years Jotna movement to go along with the demonstration. What is your reaction to that allegation?
Yankuba is a citizen like I and you, and then he has a say in Gambian affairs. So him contributing $15,000 to Operation 3 years Jotna protesters, I don't think anything wrong is.
But can you confirm that he really gave out $15,000?
He gave out $15,000. He contributed and donated $15,000 to Operation 3 years protesters who were arrested.
So what was the motive for that 15,000? Is it what exactly?
The motive I had, because I've never spoken to Yankuba, but the motive I had from him is that we as concerned citizens, the pressure we are pressurizing the government for them to stick to their promises and agreement. This is the sign of democracy. The whole world is trying to support, because we elected leaders they are in. So if they told us something, we shouldn't let them free like that and do whatsoever they wanted. So us coming behind them to pressure them, remind them of their words and promises, this goes down well with Yankuba. This is why he contributed.
So don't you think the allegation or the statements of many concerned Gambians that the UDP is fueling this movement, because looking at Yankuba Dabo, he's a bona fide, he's a very strong militant as far as UDP is concerned. Don't you think that will justify the allegations?
The allegations, this cannot justify any allegation as far as this movement is concerned, because Yankuba is not a member. He was never a member of this Operation 3 years Jotna. I've never knew him before personally.
He's sponsoring the movement.
If he called me a sponsor here, he's not sponsoring. He donated, but he's not sponsoring, because if he should sponsor, we should have a contract between us and him before the operation started.
Okay, so Mr. Suare, aside from wanting the president to step down after 3 years, it's almost 3 years now to the end of the agreement, so-called agreement rather. You as concerned citizens, are you satisfied with what has been achieved so far during the 3 years?
I'm not satisfied. I'm not satisfied actually, because the tax given to the coalition government, they are not operating beyond that one, or in lines with that agreement. So they told us that when they come, they will do reforms like security reform, which we know that the country today is in blunders as far as security is concerned. They will do some institutional reforms, which we know that maybe corruption will be minimized, and then they will do some electoral reforms, which they did some of them, and they are still on it. CRC is on its duties, but as far as the security is concerned and the economy, they are not doing much in that sector. So for that case, we are not satisfied with the way they operate. And what they told us again is that the president, the candidate who won, shall never be in politics. So we see a president today, when politicians are on streets to sell their policies, the president also will call the general or some villages or some wards to come and parade at State House and do their politicking. So we saw that that's a fail. The president failed us as far as the coalition is concerned. He failed us because failing the agreements means that you fail citizens, because those agreements make us to elect for you. So when we vote for you, you should also make sure that you stick to the campaign promises you give to citizens. So these are some of the areas that make us so much discouraged as far as leaders of this country is concerned, because if they want something from us, they will tell us sweet things, but after getting what they wanted, so they will shift on another one, which is their personal interests, which we know that all citizens should stand and make sure pressure the government, either the future or the current one, to make sure that let them deliver what they told us before they get the position. So after getting the position, you cannot give me another option while I didn't vote for you.
All right. Looking at your main agenda. Just Madugasi Olafrek. I hope you're comfortable with that.
a bit comfortable.
ok gis nañ ne da ngeen am lii di proposed demonstration da ngeen bëgg a def benn ñaxtu boo xam ne yéen a ngi wax ne December ngeen koo def te December moo nekk di time boo xam ne ñu ngi wax ne boobu la 3 years bu bi ngeen nekk di wax waxtu boobu la moo jot demonstration boobu bi ngeen propose noonu ndax ba léegi mu ngi si seen pipeline yi ndax di ngeen dem ak demonstration.
Of course dañoo am peaceful protest in December if the president doesn't honor and respect the 3 years agreement he gave to citizens.
waaye suñu xoolee situation bi fu mu ne nii génnoon ngeen arrêté nañ leen fu mu ne nii seen case bi mu ngi court foog nga ne di ngeen mën a achieve loolu noonu because gis nañ court procedures surtout lii di Gambia and Africa du nekk loo xam ne daf dee gaaw boobu gaaw foog nga ne yéen di ngeen mën a am that opportunity pour ngeen mën a protest lii di December considérant di fag ne yéen a ngi dem court fu mu nekk nii ak nguur gi.
man su ma amutee time pour génn su ma court bi su décidé pour ma dem jeel su ma amutee chance pour génn da nga war a xam ne dëkkul man kii na. So su ma waree téye man pour stop the protest in December, I don't think only me let's say that taking one stick from a bundle of sticks doesn't affect the whole bundle. So taking me alone out of that group doesn't affect anything as far as that concern is there.
Mr. Suare, I'm going to go back to your time of arrest. It's important for the Gambian people to know if you were granted bail within 72 hours, also if you have also faced any form of harassment.
We were granted bail before 72 hours, but consistently reporting from that Friday up to date. I think it is only today that we didn't report, but tomorrow we will embark on the same reporting. The only harassment we got, arresting somebody, placing me under the sun in a tight truck. So I don't think that is part of giving me my full right. And you have to decide up to like 45 minutes to 60 minutes before you decide where I should go. And then charging me day to day, I'm going to report. Maybe they can say they are investigating.
What are the charges, please?
The charges are first is unlawful assembly, and then a breach of peace and conspiracy to commit offences, which I can see they all have no base because I have not committed any offence and I have not assembled unlawfully. My arrest doesn't come at where I should protest. They arrest me in a police station. I don't think it is unlawful to assemble in a police station because the police called me on the street where most of us gathered there, but they did not meet us in a place where we are all assembled to protest. That there's no base on that. There's no ground. They can start on that issue.
Yes, ñu ñëwaat rek si the basis of yéen seen movement bi nii gis nañ ne coalition bi ñoo toogoon def seen agreement 3 years agreement boobu noonu nekkoon seen agenda buñ campagne bi am nguur waaye gis nañ recently nii am na lu xew mooy the same stakeholders yi ñëwaat nañ toog change lii di 3 years bi to 5 years mu nekk loo xam ne ñu bëri gëm nañ ne loolu is enough to justify ne Barrow war naa stay for 5 years maanaam beneen movement wala beneen citizen warta jóg taxaw wax ne Barrow dafa war a wàcca by 3 years because the same coalition bu fixed 3 years bi changeaat na ko to 5 years lan nga am pour dégaat si loolu.
loolu suma gis-gis si loolu mooy lii balaa gars yi di ko sign. ñun si loolu lañ dem pour won ne doesn't go down well with us ñun agree ñu seen extension boobu noonu. mooy Friday bi dañ announce on dañ agree pour extend ko 5 years so waaye ñu ngi ko war a sign on Friday so Friday boobu la ñu bëggoon a dem pour woon leen li ne nekk def nii nekkul yéen yéen a ko war a def because waaye dëgg la 2016 da ngeen def seen agreement bi ngeen génn si ñun agreement bi nekkul agreement bi rek moo leen jox toog bi da ngeen agree da 3 years boobu noonu da ngeen ñu jaay 3 years boobu noonu pour ñu gom leen ñu votal leen so ñu gom 3 years boobu noonu ñu votal leen if you want to change that 3 years man si ñun suñu gis-gis mooy da ngeen war a ñëwaat si ñun in a form of consultation because democracy dafa need a combination of the citizens and the leaders. Any agreement that is there, if you wanted to break it, not you alone can go by it and then say that this is what I wanted. That's self-perpetuation. You want to put your power in yourself into power. So you have to come back to citizens and say that yes, I told you it was 3 years that I want to rule, but I have so and so and so on that I wanted to work on. Would you agree or not? Yes or no? We go on. If you agree, that's a consultation. The majority will decide. But you cannot sit down in that office and say that yes, the majority are behind me. Why you don't consult? You have to form a consultation between the citizens to know that whether they are in favor of it or not. But you cannot sit down there and say that they agree.
Wow, bi ngeen a dem si demonstration boobu noonu liñ jot a understand mooy lii di Gambia bi fii soo waree demonstrate da nga need lii di a permit from the police ndax yéen bi ngeen a dem def ñaxtu boobu noonu ndax defoon ngeen apply woon ngeen permit.
waaw dem neen permit bi on Wednesday police yi lu ñu waxoon mooy du mën a am permit bi before 72 hours dañu war a apply permit bi prior to the protest date mooy ñetti days ñetti fan comme ñetti working days daal 3 working days dañ ko waroon apply before loolu so ñun dañ gis ne ñi waruñoo sign document bi without our present so ñu explain loolu si police yi ñu ne ñoom amul dara lu urgent so ñoom il faut ñu weer rek 72 hours bi bu dul loolu dañu mën a jox permit bi ñun tam dañ gis nañ lii is our right as far as the law, the supreme law is concerned. It gives us the right to peacefully assemble without a PS system. We don't have PS system and we are not marching on the street, so we just want to go and then stand peacefully, show them our papers that what you want to sign, it doesn't go down well with us. So lii moo tax ñun ñu génn so loi bi xam ne loi bi moom fa waaye ñun lu ñu def tamit loi bi tamit moo ñuy dox doole boobu noonu pour def ko.
When it comes to other mechanisms, what other mechanisms are you putting in place to ensure that the president steps down after 3 years?
The mechanism is that we will campaign to remind the president. We are campaigning to remind the president that 3 years is what he told us, and this is on record. We know that the president alone is not a problem, but the president is having advisors who are pushing him that don't step down, go in for the 5 years, because if you step down in 3 years, you will fail. While they don't know that the integrity of the president will be destroyed.
Are you engaged, in any form of networking? In a sense, are you working with any international organization outside to make things easier for you?
Yeah, currently we are, but we did not have any concrete agreement with any international organization. Okay. We are just using the national campaign, which when we say something, the president will hear it, and we know that he will respect our voices, and then he'll stick to what he said as far as Gambia is concerned.
You do believe?
Yeah, I do believe, because he promised that. He said Gambia is for Gambians. So Gambians has to decide for Gambia. So I think if any 1-2 Gambian come and show their concern to him, he's a leader who will listen. He will listen carefully and use options to make sure that this country, it belongs to everybody, and it is going to be an inclusive country. We are all going to be included, whether you agree to his decisions or affiliations or disagree, but he's going to listen to you. I believe he will listen. He's a good listener.
Yes, he's a good listener. He said Gambia is for Gambians. But looking at the trend, looking at just to take it at the empirical side of it, looking at how everything is going about, as far as Barrow administration is concerned, do you think your movement will be able to influence Barrow's decision to step down as per your objectives?
If Barrow is true by his own words that Gambia is for Gambian citizens.
Yeah, but what I mean is looking at the current situation, how things are unfolding as far as his administration is concerned, do you think you can influence his decision to step down by 3 years?
That's what I'm telling you. If you know that Gambia is for Gambian citizens, why not our this movement influence him? It will make an influence in his government, because you know that one day or the other he will step down.
But we've seen in some of Barrow's rallies, he stated it clearly that he is going for 5 years. Not only going for 5 years, but he is going to vie for a second term, which is very, very clear to everyone. So how would you relate your campaign to Barrow's statement as far as 3 years is concerned?
Since he said that we are not on air to campaign, but since we start campaigning, he will know that his 5 years doesn't go down well with us, and we are the one who vote for him. So if you vote him, if he should go there and say that he's going for 5 years, and if in campaigning for the next 5 years time to come, he will reflect on his own campaign words and compare that with the current situation. I think he will have that sense that yes, I can't go unless I form a form of national consultation commission.
But many will agree that, or would say that when the electorates were going to cast their votes, they did it on the basis of 5 years. We've seen some critics of the 3 years Jotna will say the IEC chairman was when he was declaring the winner, he was saying Barrow has won and he's going to run the Gambia for 5 years, which is very, very contradictory to the 3 years Jotna issue.
3 years Jotna is not working with with what you are saying now. It's working with the MOU, and this MOU is what brought these people in, whether they swear in with the constitution or not. because they promised us that they will be there for the next 3 years. That's the transitional period. So either the constitution is convincing them to stay in power for the 5 years or not, we don't know. But all what we care is what they told us before they are in office. Because
don't you think the constitution should be supreme? I mean, the constitution is the most powerful, I mean, tool the country has. If the constitution says 5 years, don't you think it is more, I mean, proper to consider what the constitution says? Hence, it is what tells what is right and wrong. As far as
here we are not against the constitution. We know it's the supreme supreme law of the land. But here, what we are in for, the constitution also does not say that no to elections before 5 years. We have never seen that stated in the constitution. So these people who come into power, they told us that they are not going for 5 years. They are coming for 3 years. So that 3 years, we calculated ourselves very well before we give them our votes, because they give us areas that they are going to work on. Those areas are not met. So if the constitution is saying 5 years, but it's not saying no to 5 years also before elections are conducted.
So assuming, just sticking to Barrow's position that he's going for 5 years, it is very clear. 3 years Jotna, I mean, Barrow is saying he's going for 5 years. You, as a movement, do you think, I'll just come back to where I was, do you think, I mean, in a convincing way, that you can change that whole scenario, whole status? Yeah,
we are on. As far as this campaign is concerned, we are not going.
Not only Barrow saying it, you have majority of Gambians who think that Barrow should actually go for 5 years. How do you think you can actually convince those set of people that Barrow should actually step down after 3 years?
Here is just a consultation who can show the majority. As far as these 3 years and 5 years is concerned, I cannot sit down here and say that the majority are in for 5 years, because he only had voices. But to make sure that factual, make it fact, he has to set a consultation with the citizens to know whether the majority is supporting it or not. But we will convince him as far as this campaign is concerned, because Barrow said that he is mom defa doy du wax waxay tamé. So moom moo wax loolu.
Waaw, pour ñëwaat rek gis nañ kii di Adama Barrow ñëpp ñu dooraloon lii di politique ñu division maanaam bàyyante nañ te Barrow comme ñu ngi wax ni bugam gën a dem bugam nguur rek gën a bugg a toog si nguur gi rek a waral loolu noonu yow foog nga ne Barrow su nekkee dina am sañ-sañ boobu noonu pour am the division with parti boo xam ne moo ko indi into power foog nga ne Barrow yéen di ngeen mën a withstand lii di comme li Barrow nekk nii def fu mu nekk nii ndax gis nañ UDP bi ñu bëri wax nañ ne Adama Barrow fu mu nekk nii because of that same bugga nguur tax na ba lii di UDP yëpp la génne si nguuram bi ba pare gis nañ ne fu mu nekk nii yéen def ngeen démonstration téye nañ leen ba pare seen kiisa ngay dem court ñu bëri wax leen ne loolu is a mechanism to suppress this campaign and they are ñu ngi die down.
Barrow moom dafa am na right pour affiliate with any political party or
well, people are connecting that with his I mean interest for power comme bu dee interest of power waral na loolu noonu diggante moom ak UDP foog nga ne yéen di ngeen mën a survive loolu noonu.
Yeah, no matter how you said it, what is my concern is he will listen to us. He would listen no matter how difficult mu nekka waa dafa dégul because moom su xalaatee Yaya Jammeh is here for 22 years. The same citizens ñoo ko génne so moom su waree joxe 3 years mu bugga nguur mu tax mu bugga tax mu hanga.
But you know it will be difficult to compare this with the situation of Yaya Jammeh. With regards to Yaya Jammeh, it was concerted efforts that came together. You know, the whole nation was angry, but then you have in this situation you have a set of people saying this and you have the other set saying that.
It was not the whole nation which was angered because 20,000 votes moo ci separate ak Yaya Jammeh. So
majority right?
Yeah, majority. Yeah, loolu nga wax
when I say all the people, I'm talking about the majority.
Yeah. So 20,000 vote moo ñu separate rek ñu na Yaya Jammeh. So loolu taxul nag majority comme moo ñoo decide. Moo tax ma ne la Barrow su gëmee boppam ndax nit ñi bëgg nañ ko foofu noonu pour mu mutale 5 years bi na def consultation. Bu mu def affaire yi si teg ko si loxoam mu ne nit ñi bëgg nañ ko waaye yow xamuloo lu nekk si nit ñi. Because of
okay, so you were saying if he actually does the consultation and then we realize that majority of the people are in, then you people will stop your campaign.
Why not? We will stop our campaign because majority will have to decide. That's the principles of democracy.
Okay.
So majority have to decide. I cannot sit down alone and say that this thing will happen. But you cannot see me alone also and think that it is me alone who is campaigning for this. That's what I'm talking about.
The point is, ñu ne Barrow su jëlee 5 years bi dafa nekk loo xam ne is legal, meaning ànd na nag li constitution bi wax. So what is the problem with Barrow ñàkkam step down as far as the fact ne loolu noonu is legal? Naka nga mun a faram-fàccee loolu noonu?
Loolu lu ma si mën a wax loolu si loolu mooy yaaxana lu bari si démocratie because dafa tax nit ñi génn.
waaye foog loolu legality is fundamental in democracy ndax in democracy lépp loo war a def dafa war a.
If the legality is there, why are you bringing promises and agreements? If the legalities are there, why are you trying to convince people on promises and agreements when you know that the constitution is stated 5 years? Why are you bringing confusion? Because they are the one who said all this confusion. You can vote for 5 years, but I vote for 3 years. Another vote for 3 years. Another one vote for 5 years. If you know that the law said 5 years and you want to stick to that 5 years, why are you bringing the 3 years as an option?
waaye gis nañ lii di Halifa Sallah mu nekk koo xam ne most Gambians ñu ngi ko jàppee ne comme mu ngi nekk koo xam ne he is well oriented as suñ ne constitution bi is concerned daal politics at large. moom nekk na coalition stakeholder bi pare bu ñu ko laajtee mbiri lii wax na is simple mu ne lii nekk na loo xam ne comme is at the discretion of Adama Barrow mu si situation boo xam ne moom mooy tànna pour respect lii di 3 years bi wala mu dem ak 5 years as per the constitution. So loolu tax na ba mu ne moom du si wax bu bari ndax gis na ne Barrow bépp bu mu si def rek méngoo na ak li réew mi laajte so fooguloo ne comme loolu noonu doy na rek pour ñu wax ne Barrow can go for the 5 years.
Halifa Sallah nit la comme man ak yow. He has the right to say anything he think that is right for him and the country. waaye ñun doomi réew mi leen. ñu man lu ma wax fii nekkuma di dem support Halifa lu mu wax wala di dem against Halifa lu mu wax waaye lu ma nekkat wax ni ñii lu tax gars yi campagne for the 3 years so bare su waree respect 3 years boobu noonu dafa des si ñun because moom wax na ne bu ñu ko laajtee mu ne 3 years bi est-ce que su jotee di nga wàcca mu ne des na si Gambian si Barrow loolu la wax mu ne des na si Gambian si so ñun Gambian si moom su bëggee continuer il faut mu ñëwaat si ñun du ñoom rek ñoo dem toog foofu noonu.
waaw si lu gaaw rek ma yóbbu la si lii di IEC chairman si waxam jot naa wax ne lii di élection dafa expensive mu ne Gambia nekk na réew moo xam ne suñ ne élection rek daf day nekk loo xam ne nation bi dafa am pour génne koppar yu bëri te mu nekk loo xam ne duy féeboo réew mi loolu tax mu ne election at a very short span dafa nekk loo xam ne du dimbale réew mi comme si fànn koom-koom because we all know how the Gambia is economically mu nekk loo xam ne moom advice yu lii di election comme at such a point yow foog nga ne is advisable pour ñun ñu war a dem election si diir bu gàtta bii nii considering the fact ne it is very very expensive.
Yeah, I agree it is very recall nag IEC dañu accept ñi seen manifesto bi under the agreement of that 3 years so suñu xamoon ne ñoom elections are very much expensive to be conducted before 5 years why are they going to accept that manifesto of the 3 years these people agree on because they know that citizens may be convinced to vote for the 3 years and you cannot conduct elections before 5 years. Why are you accepting somebody who is proposing you that I want to rule for the Gambia for 3 years not 5 years? Why are they accepting them?
All right, Hassan, dafa mel ni waxtu bañ jàmbo but then just a quick one let's look at the way forward and send in as concerned citizens because nga ne doo leen association neither are you so are you looking into trying to sensitize people because most of these problems in African countries, the Gambia in particular, is due to the
as far as that awareness is concerned. But the agreement came. It is leaders who told us that agreement are in power. So we have to hold them responsible for what they promise citizens because this is the only way they can deliver for us. When they say something, we have to put pressure on them so that they will know that yes, we are there for us. Your servant, you promise me that you will do something. Let them not convince you. Yesterday, what they told you, they wanted to brainwash you, make you forget, let you forget about what happened yesterday to remind what is coming tomorrow. We are not in for that. So as far as we are concerned, we are raising awareness from here to Basse, any corner of the region, of the country. This Operation T.S. Jotna has reached there, and then awareness is increasing. People are aware that yes, these people they fool us with the 3 years, while they know that the constitution is 5 years. But now we know that 3 years is what we vote for, and that 3 years they have to say something about it, not by imposing themselves in power again.
Yes, bala ñu dem nga defar ñu fi ay leeral rek because gis nañ ne dafa mel ne ñaari 3 years movement 3 years jot na movement ñoo nekk di yëngu si réew mi lan nga mun a leeral foofu noonu rek what is the space between yéen ak the other movement boo xam ne mu ngay jéem a call for the same action.
No, loolu benn nit rek la Fatou Konta rek la if I can recall Fatou Konta mu ngi woon si 3 years jot na movement bi waaye dafa am a misunderstanding with the people as you know ñun suñu movement bi is not political so mënee nekk big or big if you put politics there we will remove you automatically so dafa am misunderstanding moom suñu gars yi so ñi remove ko suñ groupe bi moom tam mu dem aside mu create
WhatsApp so maanaam there is a segregation dafa am a separation within the initial 3 years jot na bi da ngeen am a split
ñu ñoo ko remove si suñu groupe bi wax ko ne ñun di mun a àndaa moom because she want to say something and then we will have to work on that by force so ñun bëgguñ loolu so as far as democracy is concerned we listen to ideas and then the majority have to decide waaye du benn nit so dafa misunderstanding boobu noonu between moom am suñu executive bi so ñu génne ko si WhatsApp from 1 to 10 WhatsApp groups yi yëpp
At her own.
At her own. So what she has the right to say anything she wanted as far as Gambia is concerned.
So basically, that is the genesis of how we have 3 years Jotna, movements.
Just a quick one. You can say your final words to the Gambian population. I'm sure a lot of people would want you to give them an overall description and your way forward and all. Just your last words to the public.
Yeah, my last word is that Fatu, Gambia is for all of us. And nobody will like to destroy this country. And let people not see that if people are exercising their right, like what we did, these are enemies to the country or anti-Barrow system like that. This is Gambia. We vote for this democracy. Let's know that we have to stand on our feet to pressure the government, our leaders, to deliver for us. If people are there to pressure the government, let people don't call them that these people are enemies to the country. Because if we don't pressure them, who's going to put pressure on them? We have to make sure that remind them of what they said, so that they will know that they are there for us, not there for themselves. But if you stand there and start saying that yalla moko fa tek yo yalla tambul neex yalla dina ko fa génne est-ce que yalla musna wacca si kaw mu ñew si suuf mu génn nit mu génne ko fofu has never happened. So God always channel things. So we are the channel of these governments because they look for a vote and we vote for them. And then I'm talking to the advisors also to the president also. Let them not pressure this president to behave like the former regime. Because mange dega na ñu le pusko besi maraj bi la these are bad signs of these are bad signs of advices because a president is a president for all. Not all of us can say something which will be going down well with the president, but doesn't mean that we hate him and we don't push him to the fence. We are pushing him to stick to something that he promised us because this is why he's there. So if we are there not to remind him, he will be mistaken, and if he mistakes, he's going to mistake for the whole country, not for.
Thank you very much, Mr. Suare. It was honestly a pleasure to have you on the studio.
Well, exactly. Well, viewers, this is all we have for you on today's edition of Good Morning Africa show. You can catch up tomorrow same time for the same deliberation. Thank you and bye for now.
Mr. Suare, I'm sure we'll be having such talks as situations unfold, and we will be inviting your association or the concerned citizens. I'm finding it so hard not to tie me as an association or a movement. You guys have we'll be having subsequent gatherings, talks as situations unfold. Di leen jaajëfal waxtu baa ngi ñoo jaamal lu neex de day di leen dig daje ba suba same time. Di leen ne rek ñun yéen lañ fi nekkal ñooy seen bot dinañ leen indil xibaar yu leer comme noonu lañ ko bëggee rek man la woon Fatoumatta Jaaju ak sama càmmiñ bi di Alhassane.
over electoral rigging rocks Zimbabwe as the country.
Yesterday, after listening to Prime Minister May's assessment of the state of the negotiations,